Prime Minister will unveil the logo, theme, and website of India's G20 presidency on 8th November 2022. G20 presidency offers India an opportunity to contribute to the global agenda on pressing issues of international importance. G20 is the premier forum for international economic cooperation, representing around 85% of the global GDP, over 75% of global trade, and about two-thirds of the world population. The G20 was formed in 1999 in the backdrop of the financial crisis of the late 1990s that hit East Asia and Southeast Asia in particular. Its aim was to secure global financial stability by involving middle income countries. The first G20 summit took place in 2008 in Washington, D.C., US. The members of the G20 are Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, France, Germany, India, Indonesia, Italy, Japan, Republic of Korea, Mexico, Russia, South Africa, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, the United Kingdom, the United States, and the European Union. G20 operates without a permanent secretariat or staff. The chair rotates annually among the members and is selected from a different regional grouping of countries. The chair is a part of a revolving three-member management group of past, present, and future chairs. The preparatory process for the G20 summit is conducted through the established Sherpa and financial tracks that prepare and follow up on the issues and commitments adopted at the summit. The Sherpa's track focuses on non-economic and financial issues such as development, anti-corruption, and food security, while addressing internal aspects such as procedural rules of the G20 process. The financial track focuses on economic and financial issues. National Geophysical Research Institute of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research has begun field studies to put in place an early warning system in the Himalayan states against major and sudden floods, rock slides, landslides, glacier lake bursts, and avalanches, and to prevent Chamoli kind of disasters in future. Right now, we are able to detect the major events through geophysical and seismological observations, but are yet to demonstrate the minimum threshold or the maximum distance from which we can give an early warnings of natural disasters which are 10 times less intense than what happened in Chamoli with the help of various instruments. Our scientists are working on those systems, NGRI Director V.M. Tiwari said. The scientists in the institute have identified a few locations in the higher reaches of Uttarakhand for densification of seismometers and river gauges to take the total number to 100 from 60. The objective is to closely monitor the river flows in specific areas along the catchment to detect any sudden rise in water levels or flooding threshold that can lead to a hazard. Scientists have decided to take cognizance of the vibration or noise recorded by seismometers, which need not be due to earthquakes but can also be because of vehicular traffic, animal movement, rain, river flows, and so on. These instruments are crucial for the safety of large infrastructure projects and hydroelectric power plants in the region. Currently, scientists are able to detect and assess a sudden flow. Seismic wave is faster than the flow, and hence the advance warning comes to at least half an hour before. The NGRI has started utilizing machine learning to detect these observations faster than the normal approach because time becomes crucial during a warning, he said. The Ministry of Home Affairs has completed the Mother Tongue Survey of India with field videography of the country's 576 languages. According to the report, the Mother Tongue Survey of India is a project that surveys the mother tongues which are returned consistently across 2 and more census decades. It also documents the linguistic features of the selected languages. The report states that the NIC and the National Film Development Corporation will be documenting and preserving the linguistic data of surveyed mother tongues in audio video files. Videographed speech data of mother tongues will also be uploaded on the NIC survey for archiving purposes. Linguistic Survey of India is regular research activity in the country since the sixth five-year plan. As per an analysis of 2011 linguistic census data in 2018, more than 19,500 languages or dialects are spoken in India as mother tongues. The category mother tongue is a designation provided by the respondent, but it need not to be identical with the actual linguistic medium. After subjecting the 19,569 returns to linguistic scrutiny, edit, and rationalization, they were grouped into 121 mother tongues. According to the 2011 linguistic census, Hindi is the most widely spoken mother tongue with 52.8 crore people or 43.6% of the population declaring it as the mother tongue. The second highest is Bengali, mother tongue for 9.7 crore individuals and accounting for 8% of the population. The new national curriculum framework for the foundational stages of education has recommended that mother tongue should be the primary medium of instruction in schools for children up to 8 years of age. The focus on mother tongue as the medium of instruction, especially for primary schooling, has been a feature of education policies for years. Recently, the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy said it will continue National Bioenergy Program till 2025-26. The Ministry of New and Renewable Energy notified the National Bioenergy Program on November 2nd, 2022. The program has been recommended for implementation in two phases. The phase 1 of the program has been approved with a budget outlay of rupees 858 crore. The program will aid the use of huge surplus biomass, cattle dung, and industrial and urban bio-waste available in the country for energy recovery. The National Bioenergy Program will include the three sub-schemes. Waste to Energy Program, program on energy from urban, industrial and agricultural waste residues to support setting up of large biogas, bio-CNG and power plants. Biomass Program scheme to support manufacturing of briquettes and pellets and promotion of biogas based cogeneration in industries to support setting up of pellets and briquettes for use in power generation and non-biogas based power generation projects. Biogas Program to support setting up of medium-sized biogas in rural areas. As part of the ongoing Diamond Jubilee celebrations of Battle of Wallong, to commemorate the unsurpassable bravery and sacrifice of Indian Army while defending the Indian territory against Chinese aggression of 1962. Dao Division of Spear Corps organized a Mela at Wallong Circle of Arunachal Pradesh on 9th November 2022, incorporating the local populace. The aim of the Mela was to familiarize the public with the Indian Army and to encourage a sense of belongingness and togetherness. The Mela conducted at Wallong encompassed a variety of scintillating sports and games events. The profuse response of the local residents during the Mela is a tribute to the sacrifices made by our brave hearts to ensure peace in the region and also ensure its territorial integrity during the war with China. Food stalls with sumptuous dishes featuring delicacies of various states of India was an added attraction of the Mela. The Mela also highlighted the commendable contribution of the public with the security forces in. According to the guidelines for uplinking and downlinking of satellite television channels in India 2022, satellite TV channels in India are required to broadcast at least 30 minutes of content daily on themes of national importance and of social relevance. According to the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, the new guidelines have been amended after a gap of 11 years, and a number of steps have been taken for ease of doing business, as there are more than 870 channels operating in the country now. It is obligatory under the guidelines for all TV channels, including private channels, to undertake public service broadcasting for a minimum period of 30 minutes in a day on themes of national importance and of social relevance. The guidelines have identified 8 themes of national importance and of social relevance: education and spread of literacy, agriculture and rural development, health and family welfare, science and technology, welfare of women, welfare of weaker section of the society, protection of environment and of cultural heritage, and national integrity. Once the guidelines are implemented, the ministry will monitor the channels for the broadcast of this content. The exception may apply to wildlife channels and foreign channels besides live telecast in case of sports channels. The policy mandates that channels uplinking in frequency bands other than 6 band must encrypt their signals. Uplinking and downlinking shall be subject to clearance and approval by the Ministry of Home Affairs and, wherever considered necessary, of other authorities. The new guidelines allow a news agency to get permission for 5 years instead of current 1 year. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Saturday said the projects related to connectivity, oil and gas sector being launched in Visakhapatnam will power Andhra Pradesh growth. He highlighted that Visakhapatnam played a very important role in connecting India with the world. PM Modi said, from West Asia to Rome, the ports of Visakhapatnam were a center for India's trade. Speaking at the launch of multiple development projects in Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh, Prime Minister emphasized Visakhapatnam played a very important role in connecting India with the world. The ports of Visakhapatnam were a center for India's trade. Mr. Modi said, from education to enterprise, technology to medicine, Andhra Pradesh has forged its identity in every sector. Prime Minister said, with Azadi Ka Amrit Kal, India is moving forward on the path of progress, and the vision to build modern infrastructure is rooted in inclusive growth. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar had a bilateral meeting with Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen on the sidelines of the ongoing ASEAN Summit in Phnom Penh, Cambodia on Saturday. Wide-ranging discussions were held on bilateral ties, including human resource, demining, and development projects. The leaders witnessed exchange of 4 MOUs signed in areas of culture, wildlife, and health. These include one in the field of health and medicine between the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare of India and Ministry of Health, Cambodia. The second MOU was signed regarding reintroduction of tigers in Cambodia between the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, India and Ministry of Environment, Cambodia for cooperation in biodiversity conservation and sustainable wildlife management. Another MOU was signed between IIT Jodhpur and Institute of Technology, Cambodia in the field of research, development and application of technology for digital documentation of cultural heritage. The last MOU was signed on financing agreement on conservation and preservation of Wat Raja Bo pagoda paintings in Siem Reap, Cambodia. Cochin Shipyard has signed an MOU with Inland Waterways Authority of India to build the country's first hydrogen fuel cell Catamaran vessels for Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh. The shipyard also signed another MOU for the construction of 6 electric Catamaran vessels for Uttar Pradesh and 2 such vessels for Guwahati. The MOU was signed at Varanasi in the presence of Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, the Union Ministers of Ports, Shipping and Waterways, Union Minister for Health Industry, and a host of other dignitaries. A statement issued by Cochin Shipyard said the air-conditioned hydrogen fuel cell Catamaran vessel will have a seating capacity for 100 passengers. It will deployed at Varanasi after test and trial in Kochi. The air-conditioned electric hybrid vessels designed for short-distance commute in riverine waters will have seating capacity for 50 passengers. The vessels will provide on-board accommodation for the crew, besides toilet and washroom facilities for the passengers. The vessels will significantly contribute to the reduction in pollution levels in the national waterways. The year 2022 has been declared as the ASEAN-India Friendship Year as ASEAN and India commemorate 30 years of partnership. A series of events has been planned to celebrate the occasion throughout the year. As a part of this program, Indian media delegation is on a visit to Singapore and Cambodia under the ASEAN-India Media Exchange Program from 8th November to 13th November. On the first leg of the visit, the delegation visited the Singapore-India Chambers of Commerce and Industries and had an exchange of thoughts on topics such as India-Singapore relations with a specific focus on business-friendly policies and the expectations of business community in Singapore from India. The delegation also called on the Indian High Commissioner to Singapore, Mr. P. Kumaran, and got detailed understanding about how the strategic partnership between India and Singapore has shown its resilience, and both sides look forward to further strengthening this important relationship. The delegation interacted with the officials of the Ministries of Foreign Affairs and Communication and Information of Singapore to understand the media landscape in Singapore and kind of challenges Singapore government faces in timely communicating the correct perspectives of people-friendly policies to their citizens. After the first leg of visit, the delegation has reached Cambodia. The chiefs of Indian and French Air Forces recently joined the air exercise Garuda 7 in Jodhpur. A recent study by scientists from the Bose Institute in Kolkata has revealed that aerosol pollution in West Bengal is anticipated to rise by 8% and continue to remain in the highly vulnerable red zone in 2023. This is the second highest forecasted aerosol pollution level in the country after Bihar. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud took oath as new Chief Justice of India. Uttarakhand is celebrating its 22nd State Foundation Day. The state was formed on 9th November 2000 as 27th State of India. Deccan Odyssey, a luxury train launched to promote Maharashtra tourism, may start ferrying tourists again next year. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed grief over the demise of renowned scholar R.L. Kashyap. The Prime Minister said Sri Kashyap was very proud of country's cultural roots and distinguished himself in Vedhik studies.